Hello, folks. Hello. Alan knelt down next to the girl. Alan quickly undid her straps. Before Arlen said a word to her, he undid her straps. Before he undid her straps, he made sure she could walk. That she wasn't about to collapse to the floor like some jellyfish out of water. Jellyfish. Horrifying creatures, aren't they? Helga could stand on her own. She wasn't very sure-footed at the moment, but she could walk. But she didn't need Arlen to hold her up. She turned to him after he freed her and hugged her. And hugged him strongly, tightly. He started weeping then face against his chest. Arlen then asked a question. Probably a silly one. A silly one. One that he already knew the answer to. Are you okay? Arlen asked. Not sure why my stomach feeling uneasy at the moment. I don't know why. Not from stress from this book or anything. I'm trying not to let things stress me out, like they used to. We all have things in our lives that stress us out a bit. Let's see. Are you okay? Arlen asked Helga. I'm fine. Helga managed to groan. It tortured my already sickly flesh. They ripped up my already sickly flesh. I'm probably going to die. It will take some time to heal, I replied. For both of us to heal. But it will happen. We will be back to normal. Back on our feet someday. I doubt it. I'm a dead woman. You will be if you keep talking to yourself like that. Arlen warned. Helga sniffled a little. Arlen thought of how long it was going to take him to Helga's backside to heal up. There would be scars afterwards. Scares, I said by accident. Maybe I picked the wrong breakfast again. That's why I'm feeling a little off. There would be scars afterwards. Real ones. Big ones. Okay. You'd probably end up with a back like that slave from that famous picture. All that hideous scar picture. Yeah. Sometimes I misspell when I get a terrible image in my head, and that picture is like the worst. It's like psychic. You can imagine the pain the guy was in. Hideous scar tissue where he had been struck by a whip about 100 times. He must have looked like he was skinned alive back there. There at the start. Right after it was over. It was over. Man. Alan thought of Laddie. Laddie? Is that how you say it? Laddie? Like the Scottish, like Laddie? And I'd like to visit Scotland someday if that's not too much trouble. Maybe take a boat there because I'm a little worried about crossing the Atlantic and on those planes. It's been a while since there was a terrible plane crash into the ocean. Thought of Lady Vert, Dominique's mother, ancestor, who had lived in those times. But didn't become prominent, but didn't appear on the world stage till after the Zetan Civil War was over, and she had those times. He wondered what she would have done with Dummy's healing powers. So, Ireland should call her Dummy, usually. That's like his pet name for her, but everybody uses it for her for some reason. I don't know. You wonder what she would have done. Would have done with Dominy's heels. Probably took that man and restored his back. I would have touched that man and restored his back. Probably would have touched that man back in a moment. Saving him from that hideous reminder. And from carrying those hideous scars for the rest of his life. Unless Lady the mental scars would remain, unless Dummy, Lady. Did I call her Lady? I'm not sure why I'm just keep yawning. I drank down a whole energy drink of triple shot. This is not the effect it should fucking have on my brain. Wake up, son of a bitch. Wake up. Unless you're having a heart attack and about to die, then just fucking wake up a little bit and smell the roses. The mental scars would remain less Lady. Erased man's memories of it. Something that Dominique could do for people. She had relieved a lot of traumatized people of traumatizing memories by flat out or by reaching in their heads and erasing the said memories. Almost wrote memories by accident. Dominique is a curvy girl, very hourglass, busty, long neck, long legs. I'm unapologetic about that. Imagine if she was ever played in a movie, she probably wouldn't be played by anyone who could do her body justice as I picture it, because, well, you know, the reason the perfect finding the perfect body is so rare is because it's, so rare. That's why women with very beautiful bodies are so sought out after, because it's a rare thing. Most women are like apple-shaped or banana-shaped or something like that. Of course, in fiction, every woman can be beautiful, have an hourglass figure, a nice chest, sizable chest. I'm pretty sure most of my female characters I've said are curvy in that way, but, yeah, I'm pretty sure most or all. At least major characters. Less major, picture them however you want. If you want to imagine him as, if you want to imagine him as being skinny, scrawny, that sort of thing, then that's fine. Let's see. I don't realize this was needless speculation. Lady Vert didn't have her granddaughter's powers, and was a normal woman. Though I was a normal woman. I was apparently a normal woman. Her only superpower, had been her powerful brain. Dami was another story. Possessing just about every gift a human could. She had her grandmother's brains and much more. Changed a few words, got rid of the word blood and brains. Came up with different names for those things. I mean, I'm gonna have a fictional universe, might as well come up with some stuff like that, right? I mean, it's not English, so I guess to make the world building make sense, I should replace it with a few words here and there, in English. Blood, hill. Do I dare change the word hill? Yeah, I think I shall. But not today. Let's see. She could heal Helga and wipe the trauma right out of her brain. So Ireland imagined Helga was the sort of person who would have been quite against losing any memories, even the worst ones. But to be healed of her scars, that was something. But what about her physical scars? Would she mind parting with them? Dominique Richington is my wife, Alan said to Helga. Another thing I keep wondering about, what Arlen's voice sounds like. In my head, I don't imagine him talking like an upper crust Englishman, even though that's what he is. Imagine him talking more like middle class. Not lower class, middle class, like... yeah, something that keeps my head awake at night. Less so some character like Helga, who, she's major in this story, but she's not going to be appearing much after this story's over, I don't think. Dominique, I imagine her with a very beautiful voice. With a French accent. Something like how you'd picture someone like Brigitte Bardot to talk. Though I am not sure Brigitte Bardot's voice. It's been a while since I heard her on a movie screen. I'm trying to think, have I ever seen one of her movies, or just clips of it together? Because these companies that own these old movies, for some reason they think they're like goblins hoarding them in some copyright vault somewhere. They won't refuse to sell them to Netflix or Hulu or put them on Prime or anything. It's like, we're gonna build our own streaming service. The market's not gonna collapse. We could put 100 streaming services online, and the people will buy them all. Of course they will. So that's the problem, everything oversaturation and just too much of a good thing. It's like there were 20 casinos in Las Vegas. 20 casinos, enough for all. There was more than enough money for all, but then people, the dollar signs flashed in their eyes. Build more and more casinos till there's like 50 of them now, I think. 50 of them on the main strip of Vegas. And, it's like, why? Why was it needed? Why not just invest in the casinos already built? Maybe build a few amusement parks so that maybe kids can have fun in Vegas, Here I am rambling about Vegas. About the problems with Vegas. I'm just saying, Vegas can be more. Vegas can be more than an adult vacation spot. It could be a family place too, I remember there was a video game arcade in the Flamingo when I stayed there. It was kind of off the way by the elevators, by the balcony. And kind of a dangerous place, actually, I think, because kind of close to an exit, and, a child napper probably could have got me. But clearly a child napper didn't get me, or else I would have... If I did, I'd either be dead now, or I'd probably have a lot of stories based around being child napped. Because, you write what you know, right? And if you lived a traumatized life, well, you should use that trauma as an advantage, I guess. It's like a guy who went off to war and then became a writer of war novels afterwards. Of course, he's going to use that knowledge for his books. Be crazy not to. Dominique is my wife. I will tell her to heal you. Is tell her the right word? Well, she is my husband. She is my wife, and, I gotta show who wears the pants in this family, even though she's a godlike being with more powers than the whole Marvel universe combined. Well, not that powerful, but, she'd probably be one of the strongest human powerful people, I guess you'd call that. But you gotta make sure she's not invincible, because, invincible people, not very compelling characters. I'll tell her to heal you. All of your wounds. The fresh ones and the old. Helga managed to look happy. Look happy at Ireland then. But she still had tears in her eyes. Big, pretty eyes. She'll heal me completely? Helga asked. Yes, every wound. Even a paper cut. Islands replied. There will be no scars. She'll even remove the mental ones if you want. No, I want to remember what the Jade did to me. Helga replied sternly. Sternly. Am I using sternly right? I remember Stern from Urban Chaos, a fine video game from 1999. It's about the millennium, about Nostradamus and his predictions of the end of the world on the millennium. Well, it's 19 years later, the world hasn't ended yet. Severely, firmly. Firmly, that's more why I associate with sternly. Helga replied sternly. I want to remember for the next operation, when I rain fire on them again, or when I'm back in the lab, helping to make the weapons that will end this bloody war. Abysmal. I almost said abysmal there. I think abysmal isn't strong enough of a word for a world war. Probably not strong enough for any war, to be honest. Okay. That one said. But before we go. We got to wrap up your wounds. Arlen checked on that unconscious guard, finding him still. Checked on that unconscious guard. He was... I don't realize suddenly that the guy had a knife and a pistol on him. A knife and a pistol. Him as well. Relieved him of those. I handed both to Telga, who held both well. Who aimed the pistol at the unconscious man. Arlen thought she was going to shoot him, but she didn't. They just walked through the area. Soon after, they were at the aid station of the dungeon, where maybe they likely patched up the prisoners who they went too far on with the whips. Went too far on. Patched up the prisoner who they went overboard on torturing. There were plenty of medical supplies, including antibiotics. Arlen disinfected Telga's wounds, and then wrapped them in bandages. Maybe I don't deserve to be all healed up, Telga said, as Arlen finished. She had been pretty quiet since leaving the whipping room. I did survive while my comrades all died back at the lab. They want you to live, Arlen said. They wouldn't want you to suffer. Some of them didn't like me, Telga replied. So maybe some of them would be pleased at my suffering through the years. Last 3 years. Well, to hell with them. Those people, huh? Arlen jeered. Too many spiteful, vindictive people in this world. Quite true what you say. Quite true what you say. What you just said is quite true. Telga replied. Near the aid station was the storage area where Arlen's and Telga's equipment and uniforms were kept. Arlen got that short BAR back, so he wasn't going to lose, which Mike would appreciate. Was it Mike's gun? Why isn't Mike here anyway in this? They need combat men for this part of the story. He could use him, which Mike would appreciate. Mike didn't like that Arlen lost his equipment. The two got their uniforms arms on quickly. Arlen felt Arlen's own wounds still weren't patched up. Yeah, man. You suppose that they waited this long, they could wait till he was was back at some guerrilla safe house. Our comrades are somewhere near the entrance of this place, Harlan said. Let's go rescue them. Let's go to them and let's go to them and take out whoever is giving him a hard time. Right. Telgo replied with a nod. The two allied agents. A week earlier, somewhere in Canada, local time 10:40 p.m. Now that should be a day earlier. Somewhere in Canada, Joint Special Operations HQ, Allied Joint Special Operations AJCO. And I don't think I need to show what a headquarters stands for. Okay, folks, have a nice day. See you later.